Hi guys, and welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. It means so very much to me. Welcome, my name is Aiden. I'm so happy that you are here. I have a video that I've been waiting to film for months because of when I got it, and then it's been the semester and I should be grading finals, but I'm taking a break so that I can film this. It is the Penhaligons Portraits collection. There are 10 fragrances in here. I think there's 10. Yes, 10. I had to look. I don't always count right when I get on camera because I get excited. So the packaging, first off, how gorgeous is that? Wow. Super impressed with the packaging. Inside, you do get a little booklet that has like a little thing on each one of them. I do have Fragrantica pulled up so I can look at their notes as well. And then you have all of the fragrances in here. There are more traditionally masculine ones and more traditionally feminine fragrances in this set. So we'll smell them all. I don't think all of them will be ones that I will gravitate towards or want to like purchase. I'm sure that there's at least one that I want to purchase, but we'll see. This was at part of the Nordstrom anniversary sale, and it was still pretty pricey. I did use every like Nordstrom route that I had, and it did end up being a birthday present from my mom, so that really did help. Before we get started, I just wanted to say Merry Christmas to everyone who celebrates Christmas. Happy holidays to everyone else. Just this is Christmas. This is going up on Christmas Eve, so let me know what your plans are for the holidays, what you've already celebrated or what you plan to celebrate down below. And yeah, just I hope you have a wonderful weekend. The first one that we're starting with is Lord George. Let's look at what this says. So the Tragedy of Lord George, and I think the only one I've smelled is not included in this. No. So I have tried the Ruthless Countess Dorothea, and I really like that one. It smells really good. It's like a kind of a spicy type of fragrance. It smells really nice. It is one that I would consider purchasing if I ever found it for cheap enough, because Penhaligons is very expensive. All right, so we have The Tragedy of Lord George. I told you I was going to read it first. Do come in. I'm sure we've met before. Noble patriarch, paragon of masculine elegance. Lord George welcomes with a scent of shaving soap and warming rum. But what secrets hide behind the tradition? So let me read the overall thing too, because I think it's kind of cute. What secrets lie behind the good manners and closed doors of the British aristocracy? Perhaps it's time to find out. So wait no longer, do come in. Allow Penhaligons to offer olfactory introduction into their not so civilized milieu. That is not a word that you read every day. By means of 10 of the family's most notable characters. So we have The Tragedy of Lord George. Let's give it a smell. I feel like 2 sprays, like they're tiny. These are, well, I smell the rum and it smells delicious, but then you get close and you're like, oh, yeah, it has some of those other notes that are very strong, and I'm kind of tasting it just a little bit. These are 0.07 full ounces or 2 mils each. I really need to get that coffee or that fragrance out of my mouth. I'm drinking a cherry mocha from my favorite coffee shop. It's a local coffee shop. They just have a little drive-through kiosk kind of thing, and oh, it's delicious. It's like a hot chocolate with caffeine. Interesting. This fragrance is by Alberto Morales. I think that's how we pronounce his name. He did all of the Daisy spring line this year, which I really enjoyed. This is woodsy notes, which I definitely get the woodsy notes. Brandy, amber, and tonka bean. Once that masculine woodiness settles down, it smells really nice. Like, it's very much like a gourmand type of fragrance that I would like, but with a ton of wood on it, and that is woods and I don't agree. So yeah, it's interesting. I think it might smell really nice on a man. I don't have a man to test it on, but yeah, I think it's nice. It is very woody though, but underneath that woodiness is like, and I could smell that on first spray too. I could smell like the rum and the tonka bean, but it was overpowered very, very quickly by that wood. While we're here, let's talk about the Ruthless Countess Dorothea, which was created. Who was it created by? It doesn't say. That's very odd. It doesn't say on Fragrantica who created it. Anyway, the notes of it are ginger, Chinese cinnamon, wood, and bergamot. It's that ginger and cinnamon that I really get. Beeswax, mate. I don't know what mate is. Right now. It's an herb. Okay. Oh, it's a tea note from Latin America. Okay, that would be why I don't drink tea. Then it has clary sage, which I was just seeing that now was interesting because a lot of sage is not a fragrance note that I think that I like. And then it has white wine, vanilla, and cashmere. It's really lovely. So far, of all of the Penhaligons that I've smelled, it's my favorite. But I mean, I've gone through 2 in the Portraits collection right now, so it's not like I have a lot of experience thus far. All right, next we're going to go to The Revenge of Lady Blanche. And this is the dangerously charming Lady Blanche wields her beauty like a weapon. The victim, her poor, oblivious husband. Fresh yet spicy, floral and woody. Golly, this eau de parfum is criminally good. And I should say, Lord George is the deer head. I love these bottles. I'm going to try to put a picture at some point. And then Lady Blanche is the one that's like some sort of big cat. A panther, maybe? Maybe it's a cougar. I have no idea. Yeah, it definitely, this one is strong. Okay, it's mellowing just a little bit. It definitely has woodiness to it. But it also smells kind of powdery. It slightly reminds me of Whispers in a Library by Maison Margiela's replica line. This is Daphne Bougie, B-U-G-E-Y. The notes on here are hyacinth, narcissus, and iris flower, which maybe that's where I'm getting like kind of that powderiness is from the earthiness of the iris. It's interesting. It is definitely like it was strong, but it's mellowed a little bit. It's definitely not a fragrance that I personally would wear. I just don't like straight florals. It's interesting. I don't think it's terrible. I don't think it's fantastic. Maybe if you like really floral fragrances, you'd like it. But I like something gourmand or something sweet, some fruitiness in there. That's what I always look for. Next up is the Coveted Duchess Rose. And this has like, I don't know, a fox, a wolf, something like that. Rose's coy eau de parfum conceals something more sensual, a hint of musky wood. Alas, the Duke is off gallivanting while his sweet young bride aches with desire. Won't anyone release her? Oh my. Okay, that took kind of a turn I was not expecting for a perfume description. Ooh, definitely very rosy, which obviously, like, if it's Duchess Rose. I was going to say Cousin Rose, but we are not talking about Downton Abbey. It's very pretty. I'm not getting any of the woodiness so far. This is Christophe Renaud. I'm assuming that's his. It's roses, musk, woody notes, and mandarin orange. But it smells like a very fresh type of a rose. It's not really a jammy rose. Maybe I'm getting a hint of that citrus in the back. And so far, like the musk and the woody notes are just not really prominent. They could just be adding to it, but the rose is definitely the star of this one. It's very, very pretty. This is one that I would wear. I feel like this, if you like Chloe de Roses, this would be something that would be very kind of in the same vein, not overly similar, but definitely has that type of a feel as well. Yeah, so far this is my favorite. Next up, we have Much Ado About the Duke, which is the handsome young Duke's peppery rose fragrance sets hearts aflutter, but not the ones you might think. His wife, the most coveted girl in London, seems not to interest him at all. Fancy that. Oh, okay. Getting some of what they're laying down there. Oh, I'm getting something already, and I haven't even put it close to my nose. And this is like, I don't know, a dog with long ears. I don't know if you're even going to be able to see this, but that's what he looks like. Not really sure what type of a dog that is. This is definitely, I would say this one is the most unisex of all of them so far. This is also Daphne Bougie, or I'm going to say Bougie because Buggy doesn't sound very, I don't know. This is Rose, Gin, Pepper. I'm getting that pepper. Woody notes and leather, which is interesting because now that I said leather, now my nose is like, a lot of leather in fragrances I'm not a fan of. So this, it's developing maybe a little bit more, but I definitely get that like rose and the pepper, and I think I get that gin too. It's interesting. It does, it's not like a sweet rose, like the, it's definitely a different style of rose. It's still fresh, like it still feels like a fresh fragrance. But yeah, I feel like this is really like in the border between, this is definitely could be worn for somebody who likes more feminine fragrances and somebody who likes more masculine. I think it bridges pretty well. But what do I know? I don't like masculine fragrances, so. All right, next up is the Bewitching Yasmine. This one is a cat. I know what a cat looks like. So Yasmine's sights are set on London and a suitable match. Her oriental fragrance is a voluptuous affair. Jasmine, incense, oud, a celebration of all that is gloriously sensual. Who could resist? Okay. They made me scared with that incense because I do not like incense. It tends to just be the most prominent thing on my skin, and yeah, same with a lot of woody notes. This one has definitely colored liquid. It has this nice darkness to it. Yeah, incense and oud. I like some oud. Like I have some fragrances that have oud in them that I just absolutely love. Like my Anna Sui La Nuit Bohème. Like that one is beautiful, just really amazing. This is pretty darn strong. So this gave us a lot of notes. It doesn't say who the perfumer is on this one either. It is cardamom, coffee, jasmine sambac, fir, Tahitian vanilla, Laotian oud, and incense. I feel like I'm getting the oud, not the oud, the incense pretty strongly. Like I said, I pick up on incense though, and Delina is miserable on me because I basically just get the incense in that, and the woodiness, both in Delina and Delina exclusive, like they don't wear well on me. The beautiful jammy rose does not translate. Neither does the lychee. Same thing happens with the Angel Nova though. This is interesting. I feel like there's a slight citrusiness to this that I'm picking up on, but there's nothing listed. And I wonder if that's like the coffee in there. It has like maybe a more citrusy type of a coffee. Oh, but my nose is starting to burn now because of it. Okay, we are moving on to changing Constance, Constance is what one might call a very modern woman. She has no regard for custom and does exactly as she likes. Cool cardamom, hot pimento, salted caramel. Her contrary perfume breaks every rule. And this looks like a goat. I think it's a goat with horns. Ooh, definitely has some sweetness to it. Like that caramel that they mentioned is definitely prominent. This one also doesn't have a perfumer listed, which is weird. The notes are cardamom and pimento. Two notes that I don't know what cardamom smells like. I've never tried it that I know. Pimento, like, that just seems like an odd thing to put in perfumes, but caramel and salt. Interesting. Vanilla, tobacco, and cashmerean. I do tend to like some tobacco fragrances, so this is very pretty. I do like it. I don't know if I would wear it. I feel like it's just a little too strong and a little too much for me. It's like angel share, but like spicier and kicked up a notch. Like it feels like it has more of a presence. There's something else that is like, I feel like has that similar caramel type note to it, but I can't place it. But it has a sweetness to it, but it also is like very spicy. And it's burning my nose just a little bit, not as much as that last one though. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. It's not one that I probably would purchase, but I'm so excited to have gotten the chance to try all of these because they are so expensive. But I still think like this set was $40, which is a lot of money for just samples. Especially when like half of them are more masculine and half of them are more feminine. Like if you lean one way or the other in your fragrance preferences, you're gonna have half of this that just you don't really use. All right, let's move on. We have the blazing Mr. Sam, an American abroad. With the cocky confidence you might expect, hot and cold spices mingle over dry patchouli and creamy cedar in his eau de parfum. No one can quite resist Sam's charms. Yeehaw! Okay. This one is very interesting, and of course I like sprayed it off of the strip. I didn't actually hit the strip because. Okay, I'm getting some of it already. We're gonna let it settle just for a second. I think this is supposed to be a bowl. Yeah, it has to be a bowl, right? Yeah, it has to be a bowl. All right. Okay. It does smell kind of cool, like a cooling effect, like menthol or something in there. It doesn't have menthol in there, but you know, like that effect when you smell something with menthol in it and you're like, oh, it's cooling. Like this has a cool smell to it. Interesting. Like on paper, none of these, like, I might try to wear this one. This one doesn't smell like overly woody or masculine. But on paper, like these are not notes that I would look at and be like, ooh, that sounds like a perfume I would like. Cardamom and cinnamon, saffron, black pepper, and cumin, tobacco, vanilla, cedar, and patchouli. From my experience, I don't really like saffron in fragrances. I don't really like cumin in fragrances. Not that I have a lot that have cumin in them. Yeah, it's kind of sweet, which I guess must be from the tobacco. It doesn't smell like, it smells kind of like, I don't want to say it's a spicy scent, but it feels like it has some spices in it. It's very interesting. It's an enigma. Like I definitely, yeah. It's different. I like it. All right, we're on to Terrible Teddy, and we're getting cloudier and cloudier. So hopefully this still has some good light. I think we're gonna get snow here pretty soon, which I'm not happy about, like at all. I should have read this first. Teddy lives for the thrill of the chase, ensnaring unsuspecting hearts with the scent of leather, incense, and abroxan. A smooth operator, his sights are trained on Helen until he meets the Duke. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is so strong that I just like threw my iPad on the floor. I didn't really throw it, I just dropped it. This is by Quentin Bish. And it just says those three notes: incense, leather, and ambroxan. I'm not a fan. Like I said, I don't like incense. I don't really like leather. It's somewhat pleasant. It's not like, I don't know. I feel like the ambroxan has mellowed the leather and the incense just a little bit, so they're not quite as stark and in your face as they normally are. But no, I would not like if I had a boyfriend or a husband, I would not want them to wear this. Like it would be too overpowering. It's not something I would enjoy smelling on them. Oh, and Terrible Teddy is a rhino. All right, next up is Heartless Helen. Heartless Helen, who needs romance when one wields power? Tuberose mandarin wood. Our fearless conquistadora's scent seduces all in her path. What happens on safari stays on safari. Or so Sir Teddy thinks. Oh, interesting. And this one doesn't have a perfumer listed either, and those are the only notes that are listed on Fragrantica. So tuberose, mandarin orange, tuberose, and woodsy notes. There is something else in there because, I mean, I'm getting a little bit, the tuberose is more of a medicinal type of tuberose. It's not like the sweet, creamy tuberose in a lot of other fragrances. I'm not really getting the mandarin orange. I'm getting the woods. It smells just like a medicinal woodiness. Maybe the mandarin orange is causing it to not be so unpleasant. It's not a pleasant, like particularly pleasant scent. Yeah. It's just okay. It's, again, one that I'm not crazy about. All right, our last one. Oh, Heartless Helen was a cockatoo? Something like a bird with a comb on the top of its head. All right, the inimitable, there you go, William Penhaligon. I say Mr. Penhaligon himself. He enters in a vetiver haze, warm, fresh, and earthy. With a scent this good, there's no wonder he's the only trusted perfumer of high society's ladies and gents. Okay, we're going to see how this one smells, if I can find spray. This is by Alberto Morales again. This again has that incense in it. So take that with a grain of salt when I'm talking about these like incense, and I just don't agree. I'm getting, like, the incense is becoming more and more prominent, but I did get some of the citrus right away. Now I'm just getting like woods, incense and woods. The notes listed are bergamot and jasmine, incense, vetiver, and cedar are in the mid. The base notes are sandalwood and ambroxan. Yeah, I'm getting mostly just all of those woody things. Maybe a little bit of the bergamot in the top, but it's pretty much gone by now. And that is a ram. I definitely recognize the ram on that. So if I was going to look at these, if any of them I was thinking about purchasing, let me go through them really fast and tell you. The Tragedy of Lord George, no, not one for me. The Revenge of Lady Blanche, no, not for me. The Coveted Duchess Rose, that is one that I might purchase. That's the one that I'd be most likely to purchase out of all of these. I think it would probably, I'm not sure if the Coveted Duchess Rose or the Ruthless Countess Dorothea, like those are the two that I'm most likely to purchase out of the ones that I have smelled. There are others, I'll talk about those in just a second, but those are the two most likely I would purchase. The other one that I might consider if it was a good enough sell is Much Ado About the Duke. I did like that one. I liked that rosiness to it. The Bewitching Yasmine, it was okay. It's not one that I would purchase. Changing Constance, not really one I would purchase either. I didn't dislike it. It just wasn't one that called to me quite as much. The Blazing Mr. Sam, that one was very interesting. That might be, if that was cheap enough, that might be one that I would look into purchasing as well. Terrible Teddy, no. Heartless Helen, no. Then Inimitable William Penhaligon, no. So there's a few of them that which is interesting because like two of them are like the more, they're the masculine ones since they have a masculine persona with them, but I feel like they were more unisex, and I don't usually like unisex fragrances all that much either. The other fragrances they have in here are Clandestine Clara, which is one that I'm really curious about and I would really like to smell. She is the peacock. Then you have Monsignor Beauregard, which I think is a rooster. It's kind of hard to tell from the angle of these photos. There is Roaring Radcliffe. There is Impudent Cousin Matthew. That one looks so cute. That one is like a duck. Then there's the Ingenue Cousin Flora, which is one that I'm also interested in smelling. I think that's a penguin. It's some sort of bird. And then the Uncompromising Sohan. So there are this is only about maybe half of the collection that they have done, and I would love to smell the rest of them if I could get my hands on another set similar to this and be able to use coupons to get it for like half price. That really did help as well. Let me know what your favorite Penhaligons fragrances are. Let me know what your favorite portraits collections are if you are a connoisseur of them. I know Abby from With Love, she's linked down below. She absolutely loves them. She is like the queen of this, and she really inspired me to take the plunge and purchase this set because Penhaligons are not like, they're not in any stores around me. I'm hoping to be able to go to a Nordstrom sometime in the nearish future and smell some more of them. Hopefully, it just really depends on, because not all Nordstroms carry them, so it just kind of depends. I'm hoping that I get the chance to smell them though. Anyway, let me know how you are doing as well. This is actually, I know this is going to go up on Christmas Eve, so I hope if you celebrate Christmas, you have a very Merry Christmas. If you don't celebrate Christmas, I hope that you have a lovely weekend and that you get some rest and you're not working retail. If you're working retail, my thoughts are with you. And yeah, so Merry Christmas to you all. Happy holidays. And I can't wait to talk to you guys next time. Bye.